I've still got some Paps that I'm catching up on, but before that, I caught up on one of the three Lew Ayres films that we showed on TCM for Summer Under the Stars yesterday that I had not seen before. The other two are apparently not available on Watch TCM, so I missed them. Shucks. But it turns out I've only seen, as much as I love him, I've actually only seen about half of his filmography, so I've got a lot to catch up on there. This one was called Spring Madness, and it's based on a play called The Spring Dance, and it's directed by Sylvan Simon, who did a ton of these kind of movies for MGM in the 30s. As a director, he directed, things like These Glamour Girls, which is another Lew Ayres film that I really love, and just films like that. And then eventually moved on to being a producer and produced such classics as Born Yesterday, for which he was nominated for an Oscar. So this plot revolves around mostly two guys and two girls. Lew's character and Burgess Meredith's character. They are about to graduate from Harvard, and they're going to go on a boat to Russia and work there for 2 years because they're up-and-coming communists, basically, because they're intellectuals, and intellectuals are communists in the late 30s, as you well know. However, Lew's character has been dating a girl named Alex, played by Maureen O'Sullivan, and he's just spent the entire spring break with her, except in this world, spring break is in the end of May, so I don't know if that used to be at a different time. And he's coming back on the train, and there's madness on the train because the girls are mixed with boys, and Harvard is mixed with Yale, and it's a whole thing, and Dartmouth don't even go there. He gets back, and his partner, his friend, played by Burgess Meredith, is like, why are you being so buddy-buddy with this girl? You're about to leave for 2 years. And he's like, oh, it's fine. She knows we're just friends. Meanwhile, Maureen O'Sullivan and her friend Ruth Hussey and a couple of the other women are gabbing about this guy. One of them knows something she doesn't know. That is, her cousin is Burgess Meredith, and she knows they're about to head off to Russia, and they're really mad that this boy would make this girl feel like he's about to marry her and then run off to Russia for 2 years. So the plot then takes a big twist when their boat gets pushed forward 2 weeks, and instead of leaving after graduation, they have to leave the day after the spring dance. 2 weeks before they even get their degrees, and because, Harvard is just a waste of everyone's time, they decide to just drop out and go to Russia. But first they have to say goodbye. And he says he's going to say goodbye to his family up in New York, but Burgess Meredith is no joke. He knows he's going to go see the girl. So then he gets there, they both get there, and the girls basically spend the rest of the weekend trying to keep them from making the boat to New York, trying to get him a job offer and things so he'll have a reason to stay and not go off to Russia, and all kinds of things. And so it's one of those films that shows women who go to college are only there to get the MRS, and men who go to college is a waste, and why do they even go there? And it's one of those things where you look at it now and you're like you're spending so much money. Learn some shit in college or give up your space. But back then it was college was not if it was an if you go to college, not when you go to college sort of world, and a lot of people would just go straight into the workforce, and there was far less people going to college, and it was just these sort of rich idiot people who went to college and communist intellectuals and stuff. I put quotes on that because I'm kidding about that was a thing. So this is just a very fluffy movie, and if you see this and then see the plot of These Glamour Girls, you would think they were similar films, and you'd probably not want to watch These Glamour Girls. This movie is very fluffy and probably was a lot better as a play. I'd be interested. There's so much discussion of communism sort of veiled in this adaptation that I'm assuming the Broadway play was either more pro-communist or very much anti-communist in a much stronger way. But These Glamour Girls actually takes a lot of these ideas of these just happy-go-lucky, jet-set, rich, awful college people and turns it on its head because of Lana Turner's character, who comes in and she's working class and she's like, you guys are so privileged and you're wasting everything, like fuck all of you. And it's a much better film, because it has a purpose and a reason for showing the ridiculousness of this culture, whereas Spring Madness just shows the ridiculousness of the culture, and you actually don't really root for any of them except kind of Ruth Hussey's character, but you kind of always root for Ruth Hussey's character because she's such a strong person. Um, so I can't say that this is like a great film, and I definitely think it's probably for completists of the filmographies of the four leads. Again, Maureen O'Sullivan, Lew Ayres, Ruth Hussey, and Burgess Meredith. Um, if you're interested in any of their careers and really want to complete everything, I would say watch it. If you happen to be a fan of like ridiculous, privileged rich college kid movies, then you might like it as well. But otherwise, sort of a take it or leave it kind of movie. Um, so this is probably the last movie I'm watching for Summer Under the Stars because we're heading into Dragon Con and I'm going to be doing Dragon Con stuff for the next many days. But I have two more Paps movies that I'm going to watch tonight, get them in, and just keep watching all the movies.